Hey everyone, I'm David from the podcast team at I-Fal, your English learning app. Welcome back. Today we'll look at 5 interesting news items from around the world. I'll give you a simple summary in English, share a little Israeli perspective, and point out some useful vocabulary along the way. Let's jump in. 1. Frida Kahlo painting at a record auction summary. Tomorrow, Sotheby's auction house will sell one of Frida Kahlo's most famous paintings, El Sueño, La Cama. Estimates say it could become the most expensive work ever sold by a female artist. Frida Kahlo died 70 years ago, but her art still inspires people worldwide. Commentary. It's amazing how art lives on. I remember a street fair in Jaffa where local artists show their paintings. You walk by the sea, grab a coffee at a small cafe, and suddenly you feel connected to art. Just like you might at Sotheby's in New York. Vocabulary and context. Auction. An event where people bid to buy something. MKHRs. Estimate. A careful guess of a price. KH. 2. Two new Frozen sequels from Disney summary. Disney has signed Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, and Josh Gad, the voice of Olaf, to return for 2 new Frozen sequels. The first sequel will arrive in cinemas next year. Fans of Elsa and Anna will get more music, magic, and snowy adventures. Commentary. I swear my nephews sing Let It Go every time we sit in traffic on Island Highway. They even tried teaching my neighbor's cat the chorus. It didn't work, but it made me laugh. Vocabulary and context. Sequel. A film or book that continues the story of an earlier work. HMS HK. Chorus. The part of a song that repeats. PSMVN 3. Strauss price hikes after Salmonella crisis summary. In 2020, Strauss promised customers the salmonella problem in its chocolate would not cost them extra. But after the crisis, the company's prices for chocolate, coffee, and dairy rose much more than in Europe, even though sugar, shipping, and currency costs dropped. Commentary. We all feel price hikes in our daily routine. Last week I paid 15 shekels for a latte at my favorite cafe. Sometimes it feels like every coffee break becomes a mini-budget meeting. Vocabulary and context. Price hike, a sudden increase in price. Halat, here. Crisis, a time of serious trouble. MSHBR4. Filipino tycoon loses $16 billion in days summary. Manuel Villar, once the richest person in the Philippines, lost more than 16 billion USD in just 3 days. His real estate company's shares fell by 76%. He builds cemeteries, memorial parks, and low-cost housing, but the stock market crash cut deeply into his fortune. Commentary. Can you imagine losing that much money so quickly? It's like waking up, pouring your morning coffee, and finding your bank account drained. No army reserve, no backup plan. Vocabulary and context. Stock market. The system where people buy and sell shares in companies. Shavka. Fortune, a very large amount of money. HVN 5. Major Finnish supermarket chain pauses Israeli products. Summary. S Group, which owns about half of Finland's supermarket market, announced a temporary halt in buying products made in Israel. They say they need time to review supply chains and production methods before deciding again. Commentary. It reminds me of the time our building's elevator broke for days. Suddenly, everyone rushed to buy groceries in small shops on the ground floor. We all adapt quickly when something changes. Vocabulary and context. Temporary, not permanent. Zemni. Supply chain, the network for making and delivering products. Shirt, aspk. That's all for today's news roundup. I hope these stories helped you learn some new English words and expressions. I really enjoyed helping you improve your English, and remember, you can practice more with the I-Fal app. Only 20 shekels per lesson. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.